Paul, I'm so sorry to humiliate you on TV by pulling your shorts down.
It's always a good matchup between Paul Pierce and Ron Artest. In fact, Artest is better than anybody else in the NBA at holding his opponent down in scoring. He allows fewer points than any other defender.
When me and him first started to match up, I was in Indiana and he was in Boston.
Yeah.
I didn't really like Paul.
Paul Pierce and Ron Artest had one of the strangest rivalries of the 2000s. The two of them are some of the most unintentionally funny players in history.
Well, I'm most happy that Jesus Christ did not let me lose my teeth when I was 20 years old. Because I was wondering, like, what if you kept your baby teeth? I just think he's really brilliant that you lose your teeth when you're a baby rather than lose it when you're like 30 or 20.
Who's the better NBA player?
That's easy. I can say that off the bat. That's me.
Paul was one of the best scorers of his generation, and for most of their matchups, it was Ron's mission to stop him.
Paul have to lead the way, but in his way, the Defensive Player of the Year, Ron Artest, who's back.
You shut down one of my favorites, Paul Pierce.
He had a rough night.
Because of you.
90%.
90%.
90% me, you know. But I like Paul. Paul is such a great legend.
It was the classic scorer versus defender battle, with both of them giving their best. But with their competitiveness and their trash talk, most of their matchups ended up getting physical.
Just before the opening tip. And now we just have this Perkins is trying to.
As world peace and Pierce with a little extra pushing and shoving going.
And then they both walked away. You would hate to see either guy get a technical foul for that.
I think especially with what happened in the conference final.
But that's a heck of a takedown by Artest. I wouldn't have wanted to see him on a high school wrestling mat.
I'll tell you what, we could expect to see that all series long.
And I don't know if there was a foul. To me, Artest is the one creating the contact.
They talked about having nothing but respect for one another, but when they're in between the lines, they get after it and get after it hard.
One of the most iconic moments of their rivalry is when Ron decided to pull Paul's shorts down to stop him from scoring.
The last time these two guys met, it was actually in Boston, and Ron Artest used a little bit of an interesting defensive tactic, yanking the shorts of Paul Pierce down, but it didn't work too well because right after that, Paul Pierce drained a three on him. But nonetheless, Ron Artest came up with a little musical number as kind of an apology to Mr. Pierce. Take a listen to this.
Paul, I'm so sorry to humiliate you on TV by pulling your shorts down. I won't do it again. I didn't know what was going through my mind. Paul was killing me in the beginning, so I had to do something to stop him. And then he turns around and hit the three-pointer in my face. So I think I did that all for nothing. Now I think I'm just going to take everything. I'll take his shorts off, everything, socks, sneakers, everything.
So he was one of the guys that I hated. But now that our career is over, you can look back and say, wow, I had a chance to play against Paul.